Republic.
Well, hey everyone, I'm Petrie.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, I'm Peck.
I'm Chris.
And our topic for tonight is on the eve of All Elite Wrestling's first official
That's
pay-per-view,
true, yeah.
Double or Nothing. We're here to give you a little preview of all the matches, what we can expect, our thoughts on who some of the surprises can be, and also some of the things that maybe just aren't generating very much buzz with us that we're really not all that excited about, to be honest.
Yeah, this is not, for me personally, I feel like we all feel this way. This is, Double or Nothing is nowhere near the hype of All In. I don't know what it is, like I was really excited at first, but hopefully we can just get down to the nitty gritty and figure out where things just took a turn.
And honestly, for me, I'm not even as excited about this card as I am about the upcoming Dominion pay-per-view. Well, not really pay-per-view for us, but the New Japan show, because Jericho is facing Okada, and more interested in that than a rematch. So, here we are.
True. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can talk.
Well, I think.
Why can't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just think the problem is too. I think there's a couple problems. First, I saw the entranceway, the stage. It looks like TNA. It has those little circle tunnels.
To be fair, though, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a casino.
Oh, I get you. I
with
understand.
floor.
Maybe the chips or something too. Maybe they're supposed to like. I don't know. But like, I think the problem is like, with the roster reveal, with the time that went by, I think it's hard to generate that interest again. Because I think with All In, everyone was pretty much saying we're sick of the WWE and everything else that's going on. We want an alternative. Well, you know, the Young Bucks and Cody and them, they fed off that because Dave Meltzer said they probably couldn't, fill the arena with whatever.
Right.
They fed off that. They got
29 minutes later, proved them wrong.
Yeah, they got the buzz, they got the hype, and everybody wanted it. Well, now it's like, well, here's the roster reveal, here's some of the matches. There's no world title match. There's not even,
one of the main matches indie fans were looking forward to, which we'll get into the reasons why has been canceled.
There's not like a big jump either yet. No, I said yet because the Battle Royal still doesn't have 4 people filled.
To be fair, they did sell out, though, didn't they?
They sold out in like 5 minutes.
Again, yeah.
They did sell out.
So, I mean, they've made their money ahead of time on that portion already.
Right. Maybe we're missing something, but I'm just not saying that.
That if the it factor is missing, like maybe the it factor will be in the Battle Royal. I don't know, but it just that hype isn't there. I would, I don't know. It's just you're missing a lot of things. I feel like a lot of key ingredients to this.
Here's the other problem too. At what point do the surprises mean more than the actual card, and kind of downplay a lot of that too?
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, when I think of the card, like some of the matches I wouldn't have put together. Like I just went and did the way they did them. Like the Cody and the Dustin Rhodes match, I don't really care. So
I've always liked that idea of brother versus brother, so I'm alright with that.
To me, it doesn't really generate a buzz for me to really care that much. Like now, if someone comes in there,
this is like mid card.
Yeah, it's a lot of mid carders, a lot of cruiserweights, which people might disagree, and that's fine. But you can't be one style, you can't be one weight class, you can't be just a niche product, and that's the vibe I'm getting here.
And you also have to have developed rather than developing stars at certain levels.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's no one here that I really say that without the words AEW, I feel like if you just threw in a different name, it'd just be like another indie kind of card with a little bit more buzz and better production. I think the production's there. It's funny, I feel like the production's there, but the star quality and the wrestlers I want aren't. So what are we going to do?
I think the only reason why this is going to sound like super condescending, but the only reason why they sold out Double or Nothing is because it's in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a great tourist destination.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, like TNA had Orlando. What's in Orlando? A lot of things.
Yeah.
It's not like Chicago. Yeah, you might have fun for like a couple of days before you get like burned out. Or there's honestly nothing in Pittsburgh that you would go to unless you like knew a local.
And the thing is too, like they're saying right off the bat, we're the alternative, we're the competition, here we are, main network, yada yada. Okay, but I hope you really can back that up, because in October, if the general audience turns that on and laughs at these people for not even being over 200 pounds, then it's going to look like a joke. I mean, that's some of the problem right there, and then they'll be like, what is this, and why is it on TNT? I mean, I don't know. It could go either way, but I mean, for me,
their first 3 months on television are going to be crucial, and what they do even before the first show. We've also seen from TNA whenever they tried to run head up against WWE how badly that failed. The AEW show, to my understanding, the TV show is not going to go up against SmackDown. Are they still rolling with Tuesday Night Dynamite, or are they doing something else? Or is that one of the ideas that they're kicking around?
I think that's an idea they're kicking around.
They should not.
They cannot.
No,
compete.
It's like the USFL competing against the NFL and Trump wanting to go head up. It was a terrible idea.
No one talks about that.
No,
not as much as they should.
We should do a podcast on that. It's an interesting topic.
USFL?
Yeah.
Well, ESPN did do a really good 30 for 30 on it.
Right.
But beyond that, it doesn't get much other attention.
I mean, I understand, like, the problem. There's, like, 2 different problems I have. Like, in one way, it's a hot item. It's a hot ticket. They got some momentum going. And it's an internet world now. Everything's streaming, iPhones, computers, all that. So they're getting their fan base off that. But I feel like there's, like, a huge amount of the general public that are sort of interested in wrestling or just casually interested that they're probably not reaching.
Well, and also
that's gonna be a problem.
Their streaming business model for the show is right now, I believe, regular YouTube and possibly Fight TV. We're not sure.
I know it's on, So, I mean,
asking people to pay $50 for a new promotion.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
I don't either, but I just think that the whole pay-per-view landscape has changed to the point that we're even seeing the UFC and WWE get away from that completely. Right. There's not a whole lot of things left in the pay-per-view arena.
That's true.
No. But you kind of need, like, I don't even know how to argue that. You need, like, the big show, though. You can't have, like, weekly television. You need, like, that big show, and then...
I understand both points of view of price. Like, they say, well, we're the new alternative. This is the way it's going to be because we got the product to back it up. And the other hand, I can say, well, you don't really have anything that you've proven, and we're not going to pay $50 for something that we really haven't seen except one off show. So I can see both points of view. Then people say, well, throw a party and pay for it. Or, well, you know what, I don't like to buy the Fight because the Fight app freezes all the time. So, like...
Yeah, we did not watch all of them.
Yeah, we didn't get to watch it because it froze. I would say about 90% of the show. I watched, like, the Battle Royal. We watched...
a little bit of the Omega match.
Yeah, and then a little bit of Daniels and that guy. Whatever the guy... He was, like, on one of those... Arrow, yeah.
That is one of the other problems we have with AEW is that a lot of the matchups are so-and-so and that guy. Yeah.
I honestly don't know most of the roster. I think I'm a little out of touch with it. Like, I don't follow wrestling from an independent level as many people do, but I don't have time.
And also, it's heavy on the Joshis and a lot of the independent women wrestlers that we don't have exposure to.
I don't understand that. I don't, like... first of all, that's probably going to be match of the night, is the Joshis.
Oh, I agree.
Probably. I'm like, they beat the shit out of each other, not at Double or Nothing, you know, on a nightly basis. So the fact that they're going to have a platform like this in America...
Except that it's probably going to only go 9 minutes, but still, they'll cram a lot into
they're going to do... Like, that is going to be, like, a hell of a match. But, I don't know any of these. Especially the American women.
One thing that I am really ashamed to admit, and I should be more aware of this, is looking at a lot of the names in the women division, I know that they have one intergender competitor, and I apparently keep landing on the wrong one and saying, oh yeah, that's the intergender guy. It's not. That's not. Aja Kong is not the intergender guy. Okay, what about...
She's not a guy either.
I know that. What about, that? Is it the Sunny Kiss? Is that the intergender person?
Yes, that's the dude who, I don't think, is he trans or gay?
I have no idea. And why does this have to be relevant with wrestling? That's what drives me crazy.
Well, he's apparently...
he identifies as female, but I think genetically he's... Bottom line, I thought it was the wrong person several times over. I knew that it wasn't, like, the very, very Japanese names. I got mixed up.
Right.
I couldn't believe they hired Aja Kong. I mean, isn't she, like, 50-something probably?
That's fine.
I mean,
I still pay money to see her whoop someone's ass.
I mean, I get it, but see, like, here's my problem with these guys.
Yeah.
How are they any different? They say they want to be alternative. Well, you have Jim Ross as your announcer. How's that an alternative? You have Earl Hebner as your referee. How's that an alternative? You have pretty much the road agents from WWE jumping over. How's that an alternative?
Well,
here's the catch, though. It's an alternative because it's not funneling through Vince.
And there are things where conventionality is a good thing. We've always seen other promotions. Look how many promotions hired Gordon Soley. He was a very good marketable voice, and whether you were going for a new company direction or pushing younger guys or pushing a new violent style, you always had that respected voice that, that's an area where it's not a bad thing. I would rather have, a more professional, polished broadcaster rather than somebody that is constantly screaming at me to go on Twitter.
And and also, you're not going to have Jim Ross hang around that roster showing people the way.
Yeah.
Of management even. Of how to just.
I think it'll help, but I just don't see this alternative. And then I keep saying they want to make the wins and losses, not. Are more effective and they count more, and I guess they have a point system or something.
That's fine.
That's okay, but I always feel like those things never work.
The other thing is when we hear point system, we immediately think of the TNA, the way that we would get to Bound for Glory.
I hated that thing.
Well, that was just the
anti-G1 climax.
Goofy round robin nonsense that just was
the not
so
well
confusing.
thought out. It was basically a G1 that included live events and was awful.
Bound for Glory series. It was
that was it.
It was such a car wreck. It was horrible.
Because I never hated the idea of a league, quote unquote.
Yeah, it should be the Bound for Glory series should have been on a pay-per-view itself.
Right.
Then you can watch this whole round robin thing for 4 hours and get that out of the way.
Right.
But
over several weeks, not 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't know. AEW, it's interesting. It's like this. From one perspective, you want it to work, but from the other's perspective, it's is it really going to work? It's got that hardcore, solid audience, but is it enough of an audience to keep you going for years?
And I think
I don't know.
We can really, what we'll do is we'll get into our individual projections and also how we actually feel about the promotion in terms of wanting them to succeed or what we think can really happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But just to kind of take us all full circle and really come back, because that's always been our thing. We've always been very, very methodical. We always really go back through and really analyze everything. So we wouldn't have a double or nothing if there wasn't an original event, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, All In. Basically,
amazing.
It was, it was a stroke of genius, and it didn't just hit one person. It was Cody Rhodes. It was the Bucks. To a lesser extent, it was also Kenny Omega, where they said
it was every single person on that roster. That
3 words: change the world. And I give them all the credit in the world for being committed to that idea and to have that as a mantra. And to let it carry, even though you're working in a Japanese promotion, even though you're, and even Omega, it really, honestly, to me, goes all the way back to his first promo, which I felt was one of his better promos for his Wrestle Kingdom match with Okada back in, would that have been 16 or 17? Probably 16.
Someone say 16?
Yeah. So whenever he talked about wanting to take New Japan global and wanting to change the world and saying you can't do that with Okada, you can't do that with a promotion that's localized in Japan, I think that was really the seeds of it, and I know that he meant it.
I agree. I think New Japan started the seeds of this whole revolution. I really do. I feel like they were the kickstarter to all this alternative.
And I'm glad that New Japan is smart enough to realize that they have a home market and that they should look to expand, but ultimately stay where their business is going to be the biggest and not change so much to fit another country's market. So
yeah,
I am happy about that. But Omega and the Bucks and Cody Rhodes were really committed to doing something on their own. And for Rhodes to examine his part of it, it goes back even further to when his father passed away. And he was stuck in that. It was understandable for a few months for him to be Stardust and play off the whole crazy Goldust similar brother gimmick.
People want to shit all over it.
And it wasn't bad. His in-ring work was great, and for that character. But I honestly felt like, you exploited Eddie Guerrero's death to the point that you gave Rey Mysterio a world title reign, which I'm not going to deny that he deserved it from in-ring work and everything, but that was automatically, what overshadowed all of it.
Yeah.
But you won't let Cody Rhodes go back to using his last name to honor his father. And you want him to stay in this gimmick, and you want to shortchange him and other talented competitors in favor of just a bloated roster where booking doesn't make sense. And he wanted to do something greater, and he was able to do that at All In.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And by having that idea.
Yeah, he did. He really did. The pay-per-view really launched everything.
And let's give credit to their T-shirt business as well, because, Hot Topic got a deal with the Bucks, with Omega, with Cody Rhodes, playing off the whole Bullet Club thing, too. Whenever Hot Topic started selling that, wrestling fans, especially younger ones nowadays, are extremely trendy. And, honestly, let's say they've been like that all along, with all the NWO T-shirts and DX and everything. a lot of people wanted to like that it competitor, not Seth Rollins, because he just doesn't have that draw. But,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like,
No.
your SR is not as iconic as 3 letters. It just isn't.
No.
I agree. I mean, and then Cody actually got the honor of his father by having the whole NWA title match at All In. And who would ever thought the NWA would be a focal point, the world title would be a focal point at the biggest
That
show
should
of the
have been
year.
the main event of the match.
Yeah.
No offense to the IWGP Championship or Kenny Omega, but
who would have thought?
that's what people wanted, was that feel-good moment of Rhodes with the belt, and we got to see that.
And who would have ever thought the NWA would be on the biggest pay-per-view of the year? I mean, if you would have told us this all a year ago, we'd be like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's amazing how far they've come, too.
I still go back to the whole turning point of the NWA was, oh my God, I forgot his name.
The 10 pounds of gold?
No.
Tim Storm.
Tim Storm, thank you.
His promos and his in-ring work.
He lost to Aldis first time for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at a frickin' ZZW show. He lost at a Cage of Death. He lost at a Cage of Death.
Yeah.
That's like Dan Severn competing at the Kawasaki Dream tournament, the King of the Death match in '94.
Yeah.
This isn't, the fact that they would even take that risk is astounding, and you know what? I'm all in on that too.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So that really helped the card. They told the story of the Rhodes background, and they built up the title, and it helped Magnus. It helped everybody, and that's what it's supposed to really be about.
They had the teams come out, you know, cornermen.
I love that. That was
Here's
awesome.
the thing, though, that we're really going to see a fundamental difference, and this is why this is not just All In 2.
Okay.
All In succeeded because promotions were not selfish with their talent, and they were willing to lend competitors. New Japan took a gigantic risk by taking their newer crowned IWGP Heavyweight Champion that just ended Okada's historic, long, 400-some day reign, and you're going to allow him to work a promotion in the United States in
not a promotion,
essentially a competitor.
Yeah.
What would end up becoming a competitor and represent your company in a match that your benefit is limited.
It's true.
You're getting a little more exposure by the nature of the belt being there and Omega, but you're also putting a shelf life on the time that Kenny Omega as a marketable star in New Japan is going to last, and we unfortunately saw that come to an end at Wrestle Kingdom. Not to tip my hand what my thought on the whole AEW thing is, but this time around, it's going to be completely different. And we are seeing the promotion stand on its own. Now, they're still going to have relationships with people from other companies, but they're largely building a roster of their own.
Like who, though? Like ICW?
Yeah, I mean,
not IWC. I'm talking about the Scottish.
I know.
Okay. Well, even for the folks at home.
Yeah.
Like Tyler said, All In, you had the NWA helping, Ring of Honor helping, and New Japan. That's huge.
And to be honest, not sure what Pentagon and Phoenix's status was, but they were also, I believe, AAA tag champs at that time. They lost those to the Bucks, and that's one of the matches that we'll be getting into. But
so I mean, they definitely had some help.
Yeah.
I don't know if Impact helped them or not.
No, I don't believe.
They don't really help
the only one
anybody.
I could think of that may have been on the card that is in Impact now but wasn't was Jordan Grace involved in that at all?
In the Battle Royal last year?
Anything at all in before she went to Impact. Was she involved in that? She just seems like a name that's sticking
Jordan
in my mind.
Grace, yeah, she was the only woman in the Battle Royal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I also got her mixed up with the appearance of Asia Kong. I'm sorry.
What is wrong?
I don't.
First of all, Asia Kong is so recognizable on her own.
I can't believe they still. The last time I saw her.
But when you say Kong, I think of Togi Makabe.
Last time I saw her, I think was on Nitro.
I'm on the right page, am I not?
Such a weeb.
Well, I think she was on Nitro last time I saw her. I mean, I know Survivor Series '95, and then after that, she was never really on much. I just can't believe she's signed to this company. It's just interesting, like that. You have like random people like that.
I think now, also, it's like Aja Kong and like David Arquette are kind of like not different at all.
Oh, I know the difference between those two.
Okay, good. All right, good. You got a cookie. But it's like they're hitting the sweet spot of nostalgia.
They are, and that's
all it
okay.
is. Yeah.
I just noticed there's really not that many heavyweights, which I was surprised.
Not true heavyweights, no.
Yeah, I thought they'd get some big guys in there. We'll see. I mean, not saying you need a whole
Well,
bunch.
they may be some of your surprises.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's going to be some surprises here, and I think whoever the surprise is going to be is going to win this battle royal.
So,
and then we got to. I mean, the ideal person I think for the fans would be CM Punk.
Well,
but odds of that
judging
happening,
by
I
how
don't
we're
know.
going to start, because he does have a legitimate MMA booking, that the only thing I could think they could let him do would be airing a video message from a stairwell or something. Which would still get a reaction, but...
Didn't, Cody, hop on an airplane or something to go to a show? Didn't he, just barely make a show or something?
I'm not sure.
Jericho. They did it with Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho had, tour dates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got on the plane.
He got on
right
the plane.
after.
Yeah, so he did a show.
I never
hopped
did.
on a plane.
I never did look at where the MMA event is, though. So I mean,
who knows?
If it's within 500 aerial miles.
First of all, it's Vegas, so
yeah,
that's a hub.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
They could have him signed. I mean,
wait a minute, couldn't the show also? Oh no, I mean, I guess a lot of MMA promotions do run shows in Vegas, but I don't remember hearing that this one in particular is.
Tony Khan said that was the number one person they wanted to get, but they couldn't. So I don't know. But they could just be saying that.
They could be saying
yeah.
that.
Do we really want Punk though? Again,
I don't really care, but I think that
I don't want Punk shoved
people
down our throats, but I think him in a complimentary role with sharing some time at the top wouldn't be bad.
That's I'm gonna.
But I don't know. I don't know that CM Punk's capable of that.
Of sharing?
Yeah, exactly. Anymore. Yeah. He hasn't shared since he was in the Straight Edge Society, let's be honest. It was always about him.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll really show
since you brought up the Battle Royal being where we're probably going to get the greatest source of surprises, I'm also holding out the other thing would be at the end of the show, whoever the victor is getting laid out and them junking up a one-on-one AEW title match with the winner of the Battle Royal supposedly being set to face the winner of Jericho and Omega at a later date. I could see them junking it up and doing a triple threat because that's what every promotion does, and having someone else come out and laying them out. But just starting in logical order, we'll start with the Battle Royal. So,
we got Glacier.
We have Glacier,
Billy
which
Gunn.
For us, that was a pop for us. We were happy about that.
I knew he'd be in it because he's buddies with Cody Rhodes, so you know.
He's buddies with everyone.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Yeah, he's definitely in it. Billy Gunn's in it. Brian Pillman Jr.
A name that we've heard is, obviously we've heard that supposedly, I personally think that Dean Ambrose thing is a work and he's going back to WWE, but I could be wrong.
I'd be amazed if he wasn't going back to WWE. Like, why would they send him off with all that? That doesn't make any sense. I'd send him off and then
they
let
didn't
him
send
go.
him out on his back like they did to John Morrison and everyone else. So that was a little surprising.
But then again, we're also in a different time of how they're still treating talent like crap. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But we're also talking about the same company that was going to give Paige main event money or main roster money to just be on NXT.
True.
So who knows?
But that would also be just another example of them foolishly throwing money away. Which if AEW can avoid that, they'll be fine. So I mean, this Battle Royal, my biggest worry is is it going to run too long? Is it going to be there'll be some nostalgia and whatnot, but are people going to remember it other than who wins?
Well, it's on the pre-show, which
it's not even on the main
No,
card.
which I think is a mistake there too.
I do have a name of all the names on the thing.
Good, we need that.
Sunny Kiss.
Is that the...
That's the transgender homosexual. Can I even say that? I don't know.
Well, I'm not... Can you be homosexual if you identify as the other gender? That's a whole...
And moving
That's a whole
along,
topic for something else. We
Brandon
have no idea.
Cutler, who, by the way, I am having a...
Is that Jay's brother? See, I've never heard of him.
No, I haven't heard of him either, but the fact,
That's the problem with 3/4 of AEW's
here's the catch.
roster.
I started following him on Twitter. Good guy, good talent, solid dude. Like to see his stuff. Oh, that's also, about the thing about All In and Double or Nothing, too. You're kind of, some people have no clue who some of these guys are. Like Matt Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Prime example.
I've heard of him, though.
I heard of Matt Cross, but how many people, that was the first exposure they had to Matt Cross.
Yeah.
And how many people turned off their TVs, after that whole, 4-hour show?
Hey, what was
wow,
that guy's name?
that Matt
stuck
Cross
out in
dude.
my mind.
Right.
Well, it helps careers for sure.
Right. Ace Romero, Brian Pillman Jr., Glacier, Sunny Days. Well, now I'm really confused.
Yeah, I am, too. See?
MJF, Joey Janela, Dustin Thomas, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Havoc.
I've heard of Joey Janela, who honestly I think is a better promoter than wrestler.
Michael Nakazawa, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Private Party, Sean Spears, and several...
to be announced.
Yeah,
Sean Spears, by the way, we should also notice, for those that don't know, he's not Brittany's brother. He is actually the former Ty Dillinger of WWE.
Yeah, that was a big pickup.
Brian Pillman Jr. is still under contract with MLW, though, so I don't know, unless did he just jump ship, or what's
Probably
the deal?
just jump ship.
Speaking of wrestlers under contract, an interesting thing to keep in mind is, in other promotions as well as this one, how many people were under contract to Lucha Underground still, technically?
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Are they done? I mean, I can never really... I keep researching, looking for articles, and it's just like on hiatus, but no one's really commenting. Like, I read one article said, like, not a producer, but someone that worked for the company was saying pretty much it's over, but I don't know. I think that was another thing that really helped bring on the revolution of an alternative.
Well, and also really give the idea of a lot of the smaller cruiserweights, I mean, that are even honestly, smaller than people that we knew of in other promotions.
Well, yeah, it was an alternative, great production, made no money.
Really
made no money at all.
Well, I wouldn't say it was great in terms of, it took a lot of risks.
Yeah.
And some of them worked and some of them didn't. Some of the comedy segments and everything just were pointless, but
hard.
some of their in-ring work was really good. Every Pentagon match was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was decent, but yeah, if you can't really make any money off it, it's not really going to go anywhere. It's just going to bleed money, and eventually they'll just get rid of it. So.
And going from the pre-show to a match that is now no longer even on the show.
There was one more match on the pre-show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that the Joshi match?
No, it's Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian.
That belongs on... Actually, it doesn't even belong on the card.
I don't even know who they are.
Yeah. Kip Sabian sounds familiar.
I've seen Sammy Guevara, and I'm so unimpressed. I've never been more unimpressed just by looking at someone in my life.
I gotta look this dude up.
Who's the other guy?
I've never heard of him.
Kip Sabian.
Yeah. See, I think of like a hybrid between Billy Gunn's TNA character and Chris Sabin when I hear that.
Well, is it, too many cruiserweights already? You know what I mean?
Okay, well, he comes up after you type in the first couple... Nope. He looks like T.J. Perkins. I don't know. He's okay.
Well, here's the catch. Show us.
A really poor man's Finn Balor.
Right. Here's a challenge to these guys. Same thing with MJF and Matt Cross.
Yeah.
Show us. Make us remember your names. This is a huge opportunity. If you go out and have a match, that's one thing. But buddy, you got to go out there. You got to steal the show.
But on a show that is going to be chock full of light heavy, or I should say cruiserweights, trying to one-up each other with all of the flippy nonsense, who are we really going to remember that aren't already established stars? That's the risk that I think we're taking.
Okay, look, just because they're all smaller guys, it all doesn't mean they're all going to wrestle the same way.
No, but look at some of the TNA cruiserweight tournaments, and the only one that we remembered because he out-crazied everybody was Jack Evans. Do we remember anything Kenny King did? No. Even though he won the whole
I hear
thing.
you that, but that's also in TNA.
Yeah, but that was one of the only matches that wasn't bogged down by storyline.
Right. Look, for a fact, I'm not sure how many repeats they have going into this Battle Royale, but the whole point of the All-In Battle Royale was everyone's going to look good.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a punch and kick Battle Royale. It is going to be fantastic.
But see, I don't like those spots in the Battle Royale. I was watching the All-In Battle Royale, I'm like, is this all necessary?
Logically, other competitors, there's a bit of a suspension of disbelief. They wouldn't be giving them the room to do this. They'd be trying to toss them both out. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes it's all right, do we have to do the Spawn Fest and all this, too? I was just oh my goodness. And you know what else forgot to mention, too? With All-In, Tommy Dreamer, House of Hardcore was involved with that, too.
That's right, they were.
Because he was in it, too. I forgot he was involved. Yeah. It's amazing. And see, that's what, in the 80s, Pro Wrestling USA never accomplished. Where they all worked together, the promotions, the companies, territories, and made something great.
It was always a hostile takeover.
Yeah. It shows you when everybody works together, you can pull off a good show. So, I think that's great. But yeah, like you said, now are they going to be trying to steal talent and stuff and kind of not... Right. Are we done being friends? So it's interesting. But yeah, these two guys never heard of. They're on the pre-show. Hey, maybe they'll make a name for themselves.
And going from the pre-show to a match that is no longer on the show for reasons that should not be happening in today's world.
Yeah, this is very confusing. I don't understand the point of all.
So
all
the whole setup: Adrian Neville, now Pac, formerly Pac in other promotions. Yeah, formerly Adrian Neville in WWE, and Hangman Page, who a lot of people were counting on to really be the next bell cow workhorse. Under 30-ish, young, up-and-coming, possible, 3-4 champions down the road than him.
Yeah.
In terms of AEW and being a top star. And now, a week before the event, you have the whole match called off because Pac decided to bring the Open the Dream Gate, Dragon Gate title with him to the promotion, never mentioning that it was going to be defended at Double or Nothing. But now, I haven't fulfilled any of my obligations as the Open the Dreamgate champion. Ergo, I can't lose a match because I'm the Open the Dreamgate champion, even though it's in another promotion and has no bearing whatsoever on my Dragon Gate status.
First of all, if that would have happened, if I would have been Cody, it's like, all right, you're not losing this match.
Well, isn't this story?
Yeah, or be like, I failed to see the problem here, but you don't have to lose. Fine, we can work around it. There's going to be other matches.
Paige is good enough.
Paige is young enough to recover from a loss. We'll deal with it and move on.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're going to have a bad match with Kenny Omega or Jericho.
Life will go on. We will be kind. We will rewind.
Isn't this a storyline, though? If it is, it's horrible.
It's a horrible storyline.
Wouldn't they plan this ahead of time and know that he was the champion?
Unless that they're looking to use it as a way to get one of them to win the Battle Royal, in which case it's just lazy booking and don't promise the fans something that they legitimately would want to see for something that has a later payoff date that doesn't help the paying fans.
Yeah, I think you might lose some viewers with this. I mean, because people will be like, oh, not saying this is like the match of all matches, but I'm saying maybe two big fans. I want to see this now they cut it. Oh, I'm not buying the pay-per-view.
In terms of total matches that we're really engaged in, we went from 3 down to 2, and we'll get into those as we talk about each one individually, but let's just say that was one of those that we actually, for different reasons, and honestly, for the future of the company, let's be honest, because those are 2 of the younger guys that you can build around.
Well, that was like kind of honestly like the first match you kind of thought
even
was
if they
going to be
end
the
up just
pay-per-view.
being your middle card, intercontinental level guys like Guerrero and Benoit and Jericho were for a long time in WWE.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, that is an art in and of itself to be able to be put in that position and really work the longer matches and everything and still attract attention and really get people to want you to be bumped up to the next level. So, I mean, that, in terms of total star power, it took a hit.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, that's what the first match they kind of unannounced but announced at their pep rally. I mean, Pac came flying up, ready to challenge
in his ring gear.
Yeah, Hangman. It's like, oh, here we go. But then they pull the match. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you pretty much just sold the fans on the show before even the show was, I think, announced at that original press conference.
It was more so for the formation of the company rather than the actual setting of the event,
I think you lost some people on that, though. I think that put, unless this is, I mean, I would think this was a storyline, but if it's not, oof.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know that anybody that is already committed to watching it is going to back out completely because of that, but I think they're going to come into it with a diminished level of interest.
I agree. This does not help at all.
It doesn't help.
Either way,
it doesn't help, but it's not gonna hurt.
It's not going to kill, but it's going to hurt.
I don't think it's going to hurt at all.
It hurts a little bit.
I think it hurts a little bit just because, like, they kind of, either way, however this plays out, it's stupid.
And even the rest of this card's looking fine.
Well, the card, but this match in itself, I think they screwed up.
In my opinion, anytime you take away from a one-on-one match and disperse those people out to a larger group match, you inevitably water something down. And, hey, this year's WrestleMania, perfect example. You could have had Ronda Rousey and Becca Lynch, but you ruined it by throwing in Charlotte. You shoehorned a triple threat match in place of a singles match, and look what happened. Now, you blew off a good, solid mid-card match for, what, a Battle Royal appearance? A Battle Royal win? Yeah. Who even knows?
I think this is stupid the way it plays out. Like, we'll get to the other match, but this is kind of sloppy. Like, wouldn't you set up a whole tournament and say, all right, this is the best 8 we got around the world. Here's what we're going to do. And build this pay-per-view up and make this belt worth something. But nah, we're going to do a Battle Royal, and the people you figured were the main eventers anyway, instead of us telling you the main eventers, you already know ahead of time they're the main eventers. Nobody else is really worth much. They're gonna already get a shoe-in once they win their match. I think it's stupid.
The optics are bad, too, because you basically...
that's bad.
It's your first show as a new promotion, and you're letting one performer from another promotion, you're going to let that dictate your show. That's what I don't like.
Like, I mean, it's we know who the 2 guys are going to wrestle, and they're going to win, and they're already a shoo-in for the belt. Well, who's to say these other guys aren't, I mean...
This would be like Nick Aldis in a non-title match losing to someone from ROH at an ROH show, and then being like, no, you know what, I'm NWA champion, I can't do this, and then not appearing.
Yeah.
Like, it's nonsensical. In today's world, kayfabe is not as protected as it was. You can drop a match in another promotion when your belt's not on the line. No one cares.
I know.
Wins and losses have never mattered less.
I think, honestly, I don't like the Battle Royal and then the other match to make the world champ. I think there should be a tournament. I think it should be, the tournament is that night. I know people don't like tournaments that much, but my thing is, if you want to make this belt matter, you make these top 8 guys. This is our 8.
They can do the next one.
Yeah. Tell me AEW was smart enough to make that singles match the first match of the pre-show and not the Battle Royal. Please, God, tell me that they didn't put the Battle Royal on first.
From the looks of things, the Battle Royale is not going to be first.
So they're doing the Sammy Guevara match before that.
Right.
All right, so at least they got that.
They got that right.
We'll give them that.
But I mean, it's not. It's hard to book a card, which I'm kind of like trying to piece together on my own. But like, you know, that's like rule number 1.
Well, whoever the surprise person is going to be, odds are they'll probably win the Battle Royal. But isn't that dumb anyway? Shouldn't you just announce who it's going to be to help you with more sales and more ticket sales, more pay-per-view buys? That makes sense.
At this point, pay-per-view buys.
Yeah, pay-per-view buys. Yeah.
No, it's like the surprise is like, ooh, I wonder who this is going to be. You know.
I like it, but like, I mean, I don't know. I really think that the title match, we'll get into that, should be done differently.
So we go from those to. And lo and behold, I just had to jinx it by talking about a triple threat match. We have another one, which will probably end up being better than the Mania match. But we have Britt Baker versus Kylie Rae versus yet another person that I confused for the intergender wrestler, Nyla Rose. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
How am I supposed to know what a Sunny Kiss and a Nyla Rose is and know which one is which? They sound similar.
And you'll hear, well, that's true.
And Sunny Days. How am I supposed to pick those 3 after never having seen them before and picking the intergender one? I can't.
Research?
I don't want to Google that.
How?
But what if it lands on the one that's in a dress? I don't want to see that.
Moving on.
I thought Nyla Rose was a Real Housewives of Atlanta character.
Like, hey, now here's the catch. I probably would not be doing this triple threat match. I probably just would have split this match and thrown in another woman on that.
Like Allie or somebody.
Why
isn't she on this pay-per-view?
Great question.
I mean,
maybe she will be.
Maybe, but I mean,
she's just not in a match.
Allie versus Kylie Rae would be phenomenal.
She was like.
I take that back. Okay, you know what? Okay, book this. Baker, Rose, Rae, and Allie. You need 2 matches. Who do you?
I do.
For the fate of the world.
I don't know. I think just Britt Baker and Allie, I guess I would put it. I just know
those are your 2 names, yeah.
Those are the 2 that I know. And the thing is, Allie was the face of TNA for the past, 3 years.
Yeah.
But she's not the best, but she helped carry the women's division.
I haven't been too keen on Baker, though, recently.
Well, she's not... I don't really think she's,
I don't follow her in any promotion.
Yeah. She's not a main eventer, but at least if you're going to help her get to the main event, you got to put her with somebody that's kind of been a main eventer.
I would probably do... And
to be fair, when's the last time we saw Britt Baker wrestle a woman? Because our local promotion, she's been working men.
She worked that once. That was her first match.
That was her only one?
Yeah, we went to IWC, what was it, Cold Blooded?
Yeah.
And that was her first appearance back in IWC since a year, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe less, but it's been a long time since...
Probably since the last time we went the year before.
Yeah, I take that back. I think in December, she dropped the women's title.
Okay.
So she was gone for 5 months. The point is, I would probably do Baker and Rae and Allie and Rose.
Yeah, to split it up. So you have, it's like putting...
Split it up because you need a someone with some experience in there.
Yeah.
So Baker has done this before. Go through the match with Rose. Allie has had some experience in an Impact, maybe not to a crowd such as this magnitude, but okay, Kylie, just here's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna execute this. We're gonna have a good time out there. That's how I look at it.
We'll see how it carries on the show.
Now
I think that'll be fine though too.
We have the Joshi's 6-woman match: Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura versus Hikaru Shida, Riho, and Ryu Mizunami.
I don't know any of these women besides Kong.
I know Ryu Mizunami.
We'll probably have a great match, but the general fans won't care.
It's pretty
because
much...
she was on a story that I read, I guess, about the event. That's why I know her.
It's pretty much a popcorn match.
No. This is honestly going to end up being...
None of these matches are popcorn matches.
This one's
really.
probably going to end up being, even though it's only going to be 9 minutes long, they're going to compress more physicality into this match than we're probably going to see in
right. They're going to steal
a
the
lot
show.
of the matches. Yeah,
They're going to steal the show, like for sure.
I think everybody's gonna try to steal the show. I mean, this is the
which may work to their detriment.
Yeah.
These 6.
Right.
This is, I mean.
Look, they're random names to us, but like they've been chosen for a reason.
Now you're hyping me up. Now you want me to get the show.
Well, here's the thing. Look at. We've seen in other promotions, even with the men's wrestlers, how a lot of the times whenever people were brought in that worked the Japanese style, look at how seamlessly they fit into ECW. Dick Togo,
Oh yeah, they all fit in.
I
mean, the Japanese wrestlers pretty much go anywhere and fit in.
Yeah,
they'll steal the show,
and especially when they're working against each other and don't have to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
They'll always.
They always, like for the general public, I think they always they overperform, and they overdeliver. But when the first appearance of them, when you first see them, you're like, eh. But then when you actually watch the match,
a lot of
happened,
that is people judging a book by its cover, which
yeah.
Hopefully in some cases we're going to be wrong about and be guilty of doing with a lot of these performers. And I feel bad about saying it, but
I mean,
it's just that. The biggest thing with me is that every time I've seen a lot of these indie people and people have told me I'd be impressed, I've still kept my original impression and think that they suck. I mean, that's honest.
I've
been let down more times than anything, Daniel Bryan.
That's okay.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't like their style, you just don't like the wrestler, and it's okay not to like everybody. You don't have to like every wrestler. I mean...
And, the other thing that we're noticing about this card is that there's a lot of tag matches, and that could be good and that could be bad.
I think too much tag.
Yeah.
Too much tag.
So we have the best friends of Trent Beretta and Chucky Taylor versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
I'm going to like this one.
I'm surprised they got Jack Evans. He's been in Mexico forever.
I like Jack Evans and I like Trent Beretta. Chucky Taylor and Angelico, I could leave.
Oh, come on.
I've never heard of Angelico.
Oh, I'll buy them all the beer.
I've heard of Hunico and Epico, but I'm sure they're not related.
No, they're definitely not related.
I literally only know Chuck Taylor because he's the name of the shoes and he's Trent Beretta's best friend. That's literally the only reason I've ever heard of him.
And I believe he wipes standing up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean... Is that really what he's known for?
Yeah, he does that web series with Trent Beretta.
Oh, jeez.
Like popping dogs.
I'm not necessarily concerned with the fact that they have a web show where that's discussed. I'm more concerned with the people that watch it.
I'm sick.
You know what's interesting?
Oh, Brandon, not you too.
It's amazing.
You think they're going to do a general manager situation with this company?
Yeah, they're probably going to have like a stupid name.
Oh, God.
That's one of my...
more authority figures. That kills every promotion.
This is my biggest fear of what that'll be.
You got it.
You can have one, but don't have it be a heel general manager and
do like a Jack Tunney kind of thing.
Like the point, who Gary. You know who Gary Bettman is. So
yeah.
That's the catch. It has to be someone. It just has to be one dude. You know who Donald Trump is.
You knew who Gorilla Monsoon was, but he didn't actively interfere like McMahon did and just stuck around way too long. It was novel when McMahon did it, but after that, no. So, we go from that to 6-man with more international flavor. We have SoCal Uncensored versus # Strong Hearts.
Well, who are they and where are they from?
So SEMA and 2 other guys from a very large, essentially Chinese, I guess, Puroresu promotion, if you would use that word. Even though it's
is it Chinese?
Yep, SEMA, I believe, is Chinese, and I know his tag partners are. I don't know if SEMA is.
Let's find out. But yeah, I think, again, they're not going to pick these random schmoes for no reason.
Yeah, they got
I'm sure they have a reason. They have some talent.
I just want the Japanese to win.
They're not Chinese.
I think one of them is Japanese.
One of them might be.
Okay, the Asian group.
Okay, SEMA is... No, SEMA is Japanese.
Oh,
now I'm really confused. Okay, where is tag team? Okay, he works for Oriental Wrestling Entertainment.
I never heard of that.
Never have either. Okay.
Yeah, OWE. I've heard of them just because they keep saying it on a lot of these different interviews they have with AEW wrestlers.
OWE has working relationships with the U.S. Best All Elite Wrestling, Future Stars of Wrestling, and Mexican The Crash Lucha Libre.
Well, there you go.
So, the owner is Fu Hawaii Yang, and that's Chinese. They are... China. Yep,
Yeah,
it's
look,
China's first
it's-
major professional wrestling promotion.
All right, rock on, guys. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
You gotta crack that market.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you want to crack that market, or do you want Vince to crack that market?
with over 1 billion people, I'm sure some of them are talented wrestlers. Put it
Right.
that way. Every country in the world has produced talented wrestlers. New Zealand has an IWGP former world heavyweight champion, Jay White. So, hey,
Right.
China, welcome aboard. The more talented wrestlers out there, the better. We're happy.
That's true. Yeah, this has got to grow. This has got to grow, folks.
Yeah.
And then look, here's the catch. And like, we're gonna sit here, we're gonna
We know this is going to be
complain,
good.
and we're gonna gripe. Yeah, this is gonna be
It's
good.
Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. Is it ever going to be bad? I've never
Right.
seen a bad Daniels and Kaz match.
No.
Ever.
Right.
Ever. It didn't matter who the opponent was. Never. It's never happened. I don't really know anything about Scorpio Sky. I know he's not too cold Scorpio.
There you go.
I know
There you
that
go.
much.
There you go.
That's
There
what
you
they
go.
should have got for that. And the battle of the Scorpios. Scorpio against
Oh, yeah.
Scorpio Sky. That'd be cool. That's what I'm surprised they actually didn't get was Too Cool Scorpio for All Elite. He fits that kind of vibe.
Well, absolutely. And he can still go.
Yeah, he can still go.
Yeah. Well, we complain a lot, but like we only say this out of love.
Yeah, because we're
Really.
passionate and we're just sick of the wrestling going on almost nowhere for essentially like almost 20 years.
Well, I mean, this match alone, I think we've all looked at and we're all in agreement that whatever happens, this is going to be decent. If it's given enough
Yeah.
time, I have no concerns about this match at all.
This is not going to be bad.
No, I mean, this is
Straight up.
not going to be... Here's the thing, is it enough to make me tune in? Perhaps not.
I
But
got
if I'm
plans.
watching it, yeah, I mean...
Well, that's what's
Yeah,
tough. Yeah, there's no matches here that are really going to get the general public or just people that are like on the fence, like, I'll buy that.
I mean, for me, it'd be Omega and Jericho, but that's...
That's about it.
If I hadn't already seen it, and it was a great match in New Japan, I'm topping a match like that's going to be tough, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we got brother versus brother, Cody versus Dustin.
It doesn't really matter to me.
I just worry how much does Dustin have left, and that's not. I don't mean to be cruel. It's just that he's coming off of injuries. He's older. It's just. I don't want it to be sad.
It's not, okay, so it won't be like Kurt Angle sad. That one.
No, that was
pretty-
very depressing.
That was rough. That was rough.
I would have rather have him just retire in the ring, get a 10 belt, and watch Kurt Angle do what he did over the weeks. He just looked horrible.
Ooh, yeah. That was a long segment too. But the point is, he's wrestling his brother. He's wrestling someone he knows. You don't think Cody's going to work his ass off for?
Oh, they
for
both
Dustin?
are. They're
Oh,
gonna.
they will.
I think they're gonna make it a hardcore, not a shoot, but they're gonna do a lot of. It's gonna be a brawl.
Dusty's going to be proud. Dusty's going to be proud.
Yeah, yeah.
Is Dustin going to be there as a wrestler permanently, or is this just a one-off?
I honestly think
Yeah,
this is
he's
going to be
He's
his.
the authority figure.
This is just my theory. This isn't based on any supposition, but I think that this is going to be Dustin Rhodes' retirement match.
Oh yeah.
I think he will
How would you
take
want
the
to go
mic
out?
and have his speech. Yeah,
You're Dustin Rhodes. Pick your guy.
yeah, your brother.
yeah,
Booker T.
Well, I mean,
too. I mean, seriously, think about it.
if we're honest, his best matches were on the house show circuit with Shawn Michaels, but
Yeah.
Well,
That too.
yeah.
Dustin Rhodes had some decent early WCW ones.
Oh, he had some great early
Yeah.
WCW stuff, and his Goldust stuff was great too. Before they got too into the character rather than the wrestling,
Yeah, that happens with a lot of the WWE's.
and that's what that's
storylines
kind of
and
what we're looking to AEW to avoid.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna. You gotta have some storylines. You have to have some backstage segments. I mean, but I don't know how
I'm
much.
sure they're. I think it's going to be that's going to be kept to a minimum. I think it's going to be like the
We're not going to get another
Marty Squirrel.
We're not going to get
snapping
another
the fingers of everyone.
Joey Ryan blow up penis parade.
Yeah, is he signed with them or no?
Not yet. I don't.
Okay.
don't
I'd probably
think-
stay away from
Not
him.
even on like a per
No,
appearance deal.
no,
he was just at all in.
No, I. Here's the thing. Joey Ryan just got out of the deal with Lucha Underground, so
Yeah.
look, let him not be bogged down by a contract. I get that, but him and who's that other crazy asshole?
There were a lot of
Priscilla
them.
Presley.
You mean the one that's with? No, that's Penelope. The one with Joey Janela. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, no, that's been done before it.
Yeah.
The one with who stuck the tampon in the other girl's
I
mouth.
think you might be right with Priscilla Presley.
Yeah, I think yeah.
But again, going by my track record, the next thing out of my mouth might be, I thought Priscilla Presley was the intergender guy.
Look, he's different. It's a buzz.
Wait, Priscilla Presley's a guy now? You said he.
Oh, no, I said no.
You said he.
Then I totally said he.
You meant Joey Ryan.
I meant Joey. I was talking about Joey Ryan.
Okay.
I was talking the point it's just gonna be short. I don't want this for kids.
Yeah.
I really don't. But
none of it is. I mean, it's I'm TV 14. Yeah.
Right.
That's what this all seems
adult
like.
guidance.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be ECW 98. I don't need anybody yelling the F word at the or the wrestlers unless they deserve it.
Like WCW was in the 90s.
You're right.
Early 90s, like more mature wrestling, but still kids can
focus
watch
on
it.
the product rather than the vibe.
I'm alright with that.
I don't think Joey Ryan helps the whole...
No, he doesn't help with that at all.
Not kid-friendly at all.
No. You can do something else somewhere else. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah, okay. I like him.
So,
I like him.
That brings us to...
We got 2 matches left.
Yeah, if it wasn't... I mean, I think the SoCal Uncensored versus Strong Hearts match might honestly end up being better, but this one could be match of the night as well. We have the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers of Pentagon and Phoenix for the AAA World Tag Team titles, with the Young Bucks defending.
We're just 2 guys down from the match last year. We're down Ibushi and Mysterio, right?
I honestly don't remember. I know it was like a 6-man tag, but I don't remember who was all in it.
Bandito. That was it. It was
not
Bandito.
Bandito. It was Bushi and Bandito, not Kota Ibushi. Bushi. Yeah.
I know
Who's a lot worse than Kota Ibushi, but not bad. He's a good wrestler still.
Yeah. That was like the main event, which I thought was kind of odd that 6-man tag is a main event for All In. But
I forgot that was actually.
I think I know why they did that. Do you really want Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega? You really want those guys having their matches go right up to the end?
Well, you had time at the risk of getting cut. Yeah,
you had time to process that too.
Because you might end up with a DDP Goldberg Halloween Havoc '98 moment where it's not on the show.
Yeah,
gets cut. That was bad.
And you don't have a TV deal to air it for free the next night.
Yeah, they really lost. I mean, that really hurt WCW bad.
Yeah, because the last match was Hogan and Warrior. But yeah. So I mean, this match. I'm not a big Bucks guy. I like the other 2 a lot better. But I mean.
It's going to be a good match.
It's going to be satisfying. The Bucks have always been a draw for the indie crowd.
I'm all these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be bad. Maybe too many super kicks, but beyond that,
I
don't have a problem with it.
The only problem I have with it is that if that's a finisher, why are you doing that like 20 times?
Well, that's the problem.
It isn't, though. They use it as a signature.
Okay.
Because they did the Meltzer driver, and then they have the sharpshooter and the 450 splash and all that.
Right, okay.
I think it's what hurts wrestling sometimes. Like it's over
reliance on finishers.
Yeah, and over dramatic
and no selling everything.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous sometimes. I mean, wrestling itself is,
But there has to be some believability. Like it can't be ROH and you kick out of a shotgun blast to the chest at 1.5.
Yeah, how many false finishes and over dramatic moves can we do? It gets a little bit tedious.
Good point.
So that brings us to Kenny Omega and Jericho for the winner earning the title shot against the winner of the Battle Royal.
Gonna be huge.
Huge.
I was all thinking that Jericho was going to get his win back until he challenged Okada. And I honestly think they're going to let Jericho beat Okada instead. And I don't think they're going to let him win this one.
Yeah, it's Omega.
I think they're going to have Omega beat him twice in a row.
He's going to be the new face of the promotion.
Ordinarily I would ordinarily say smart business would be have Jericho win and do a third match, but I really think that they're going to do a one-off just so Jericho could be IWGP champion for at least a month and then drop it to, I don't know who, but I think that's why Jericho's going to lose this one.
Drop it to me.
There you go.
I would rather see Bone Soldier.
I don't think the...
Bonesaw.
Oh, yeah.
McGraw.
Yeah. No. Oh, McGraw. Yeah, Bonesaw McGraw.
Yeah, Savage from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah,
there you go.
Where he was
I got you for 5 minutes.
Yeah, so, I mean, this match, it's going to be good. Is it going to be better? I think Jericho is going to ruin it by introducing the Judas effect, his new spinning elbow. You're not Misawa. Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keep the code breaker and I don't need another crappy MMA strike ruining professional wrestling. I don't.
But he only has so many dances left in him, though.
That's true, too.
Right. You said it like he's 47.
Yeah. I mean,
He's going to start. I'm very thankful for the career that Chris Jericho has given us as fans. But let's let him wind down, let him retire. Let him do Fozzy some more. He's got a couple more years of that.
Oh, no, I know. But, I mean...
His kids are getting older.
And all that's going to play into it. I mean, Jericho's never been about wins and losses either. I mean, it's going to be good. I don't know.
I just don't like how this whole thing's set up where it's like, okay, Battle Royal, someone wins.
It's just the fact that this not being the first time that it's happening, and it has now dropped the amount of matches that we're truly excited about. We really... The Bucks and Pentagon and then this match... They're the ones that are really the main, bellwethers that people were really interested in. And now that we dropped down from 3 to 2, the more that I look at it, it's like, okay, it's a match I've already seen.
Well, how many we got here? Including the pre-show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So we got 9 matches, 3 hours. That's more than enough time.
Yeah, I think you got room for one more.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be a surprise or
I don't
something.
think this one's going to go 40-some minutes. I think this will be a good half hour, maybe.
Yeah.
Although, then again, Kenny Omega does seem to equate long with good, unfortunately. Sometimes to his detriment. Like, just because you won an hour doesn't mean it was the best match ever.
Right, no, I get that.
Could they have done the title thing a little bit different, though? I think they could have. Like, okay, the Battle Royal winner, and then whoever wins this match.
Well, the other thing that hurts it is
else.
it being so far away from their actual television date.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to do too much too soon when you're not going to be on TV yet. But you also have to set up for, your next pay-per-view and your next one and everything else, so...
To lead into TV.
You're kind of doing it in reverse order. Like, at least when TNA started, they had the backing of the NWA and had titles already set up and ready to go.
You know what, not going to lie, the turnaround time for this has been remarkably quick.
Oh, yeah, it has. But
they announced this New Year's...
But they do have a good-sized gap in between the next things that are happening there. That's the thing.
They probably got something else lined up.
I'm sure they do, but, I mean, in terms of getting us to television... That's a long gap.
It is. Hopefully they won't lose a lot of steam by then.
Well, the thing is, it's just more... It's different from what they've been doing in the quick turnaround time that they've had. We're not going to be used to waiting that long for that part of it. When everything else that they've done has been 3-4 months, bam, 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 there it is.
I wonder if they're going to do something where, like, they did with Jericho at All In, where he was, like, somebody and then he took the mask off.
Well, I mean, I guess they could do that.
I wonder if they'll do something like this show where, like, it's somebody else.
Dean Ambrose or somebody else.
Yeah, something like that under the mask.
I still don't think... I don't know. I just get the feeling that it's a work.
I don't see Dean Ambrose. I mean...
Well, also, here's the cut. You keep Dean happy. If Dean's happy and gets what he wants, you also got Renee.
Yeah.
You going to let her jump ship, too?
Well, that...
You going to let her go to ESPN?
That...
Am I going to let you get this slot out?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, it's funny, like, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I don't see Dean Ambrose leaving. I just see that it was a WWE production. Because I don't really think they gave this guy a pay-per-view before he leaves. You know what I mean?
Why they call it, why do you do that video of him just being called Moxley?
Well, it throws you off, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Think about it. He's leaving the company. Or we're going to do this angle, and you give us your indie name. Mm-hmm. Yeah? No, he's not. I don't think that's a thing at all.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I do think they're gonna rely heavily on the surprises in the Battle Royal, though. That's gonna be the one person I think that wins. Yeah. I just don't see anybody in the Battle Royal they've announced that really will. I don't know.
I still think Wade Barrett, but I could be wrong.
Could be though. You never know if they're gonna pull out. I mean, they can pull out somebody that's just they can throw anybody in there. But
it's true.
I mean, literally, they could throw a lot of people in there.
And we're 24 hours away, from less than 24 hours away at this point, so
it's crazy.
We'll see. We'll hope that Cody Rhodes won't get arrested the night before.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
I know.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. AEW's very predicated on... They don't have a deep roster, and that's going to be another subject that we're going to get into, but really beyond their top 6.
I am not digging that women's division either.
Well, not even that, but their top 6 men's wrestlers, they're one knee injury away from being in trouble for months.
True.
One torn meniscus,
That's why
I was really worried that somebody was going to get hurt in training and that we weren't going to see, a lot of it.
That's like if they would have worked with other companies, they could get some of these other girls in there and make it worth a watch for some of this. But that's what's the trouble. If you don't work with the other companies, you're kind of stuck. So it's interesting to see how this will unfold and play out. But I mean, this has a possibility to crash, burn, and explode after like 2 years. They don't get the ratings and they don't get the money. I mean,
I guess our thoughts on this whole thing are, we want it to succeed. We're just not sure that we're really into it enough to actually tune in.
because it's such a different time, and like, yes, they have some of the hottest stars in wrestling right now.
But it's relative, and they're not your traditional version of stars.
But they're doing something different. I mean, they sold out an arena with a pay-per-view by just using the internet, social media, and word of mouth.
But they also had a lot of help from other promotions and a lot of established stars.
True. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how this plays out. I don't know.
And also comparing AEW, I think we're going to give a little local flavor here, a little taste of Pittsburgh. And,
sure.
I went to this last year and it blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
A year before that, Anthony Bourdain was at it when he filmed No Reservations here in Pittsburgh and talked to a lot of non-Pittsburgh people for reasons. Anyway, Super Indy. 15 coming around the corner.
Our local Fed, and they always bring in, the roster that they always have is very talented, but they also bring in a lot of outside guys.
I take that back. 18. I misread that.
It's okay.
15 was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But they, it got us thinking, and we were talking about this the other day, and it kind of, not to cast IWC in a bad light, but we were thinking of, should our local indie Fed really have a better roster than AEW beyond the top 6 guys? And the more we thought about it, we came to the conclusion that they might.
Yeah. They're very...
But also, none of the people that are in the Super Indie, with the exception of Britt Baker, who we'll get to, is really under contract with All Elite right now, are they?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So, that's one of the things that's what we're going to get into now is, looking at that and just the names are more recognizable and, we've seen what these people can do.
I think we should start off with the 3 kind of like indie names.
Yeah.
Kind of pretty much.
And then build up to the actual IWC roster members themselves. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So Jonathan Gresham, who won it all last year.
Yep.
There is...
and that's a name we're familiar with from Ring of Honor over the years.
Absolutely. There's also Anthony Green, the retrosexual, who is wildly entertaining. You're shaking your head no.
That's his appearance. I'm not... he looks odd.
The fake Ribera jacket was amazing.
Yeah. It's the curve. The mustache looks like a frowny face. That's what's doing it for me. Usually it's straight across.
It was also scowling too, so that's what does it.
Yeah, but that takes skill to get the corners to turn down like that.
But speaking of another mustache is Joey Ryan.
Yeah. And
apparently, like going through there's like a list of names of everyone who's ever competed in the previous Super Indie tournament.
Super Hentai, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles.
Well, Joey Ryan was also in 2009.
Yeah.
I actually regret not going to any of these.
Yeah. Oh, I know. The lineups were stacked.
Right. 17? Adam Cole, Jonathan Gresham, Joey Janela, Chris LaRusso, DJZ, Jay White, Colt Cabana, Mike Orlando. Now, 2 years ago, I couldn't tell you what a Mike Orlando was. Now I can.
Jay White, same thing. He was terrible in ROH, but now, former IWGP champion, he's improved so much.
Right. We go back to the first one. Go back to the very first Super Indie. Super Hendai, Daniels, Punk, Low-Key, Orion, Cabana, Hero, CJ Sensation. I totally would have loved that back in...
Yeah, I'm sure that...
2002. With my not being as in it, then as I am now, I totally would have enjoyed the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my first IWC show was in 2001.
Yeah.
Or even 2012 when it was a very small card. Sammy Callahan won the whole thing.
True.
It's amazing. They know their talent. They get the hottest talent for the time.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to do some math here in my head real quick. Because I think there were 2 extra...
There's still 2 slots available.
2 slots open, which blows my mind.
We'll also probably find out you're actually going to IWC in Chikara tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm more excited for. I take that. I don't know what I'm more excited for. I'm more excited. I like.
Chikara is something new, but IWC is always solid.
And it's also like that's their. It's Proving Ground 8, so that's the. This is where they debut their new talent, and.
And I'm sure they're going to finalize the 2 spots there.
I thought last year's class was one not to be topped. This one, I have never. There's one guy. He was doing an assistant vice principal gimmick. Yes! Yes!
I'm surprised that hasn't been done more.
Right!
I'm sure it has on other feds, but we've never seen it locally, and that's a very common trope, and we haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm down for it. Let's do it.
That's what wrestling needs too. More characters, you know? There's not a lot of that anymore.
No, I think... there's Britt Baker. I think we said our piece about her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not a big fan of intergender matches just as a whole because they're awkward. It's just it goes against a lot of what I believe. I don't believe a man should ever put hands on a woman like that. I don't like it.
It's a competition. This is.
I know it's a competition, but like especially
Chris Luroso got his ass beat.
He did, yeah. But in cases where like I watched a match where if there's slaps or striking, then I'm really not comfortable with it. If it's going to be just a straight up grappling and spots and whatnot, fine. You want to do a drop kick, that's okay. But if you're going to punch or elbow, no, I'm sorry.
Lufisto just beating the shit out of everyone.
Well, yeah, but that's the other way around, though. I don't care about that. Like, if she wants to ragdoll a guy, who cares? Like, but I don't like it going the other way. I don't feel right about it.
I don't care. I really don't. It's just a thing. I just want to be entertained. Right. Unless this sexy star, and then I want to see her get her ass whooped.
We also may have 3 open spots because I'm not sure. I hope Dylan Bostic will be fully recovered.
I think he is. I think he's actually working now.
That was a while ago. Then
that was a while. Yeah,
he was able to.
He was in an accident. We flipped his car several times.
Been there.
Bostic, yeah. Woof. Baker, we said our piece.
Josh Alexander, we forgot about him.
Yeah, previous.
He's an
Super
Impact
Indie winner. Yeah, he's an Impact now.
Yeah.
And then the, I think a lot of favorites.
He looks like a pilot.
Yeah.
He looks like he's flying a plane and can't get his headphones off.
Kamikaze pilot.
Come in. Your landing gear is down.
And the last one we have to touch on is the dual IWC World Heavyweight Champion and the Super Indie Champ, Wardlow.
Right. I mean, you're talking about, you missing big guys and All Elite. Here's your big guy right here.
Yeah, he's about 6'2", 250 to 270 pounds, and he can do a swanton bomb.
Right. And who you are talking about, like, hey, you hate people do flippy stuff. Here's a guy who does flippy stuff, and...
Yeah, but it's a controlled flippy stuff. It's not literally a handspring and a cartwheel, and I'm watching synchronized swimming and gymnastics. His actually hurts.
And I'm just not going to take this bump. I'm just going to over-rotate. Okay, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But, like, my God, is he ridiculously talented.
And
That's
strong.
good.
And he's a draw. He has the look. He has the talent. He has everything.
He is oh, my God. Yeah. I'm actually getting sad thinking about, like, wow, he's not going to be in IWC forever.
What says a lot about IWC, though? They're making a lot of this fresh talent. That's great.
And here's the thing, that he's like, to be fair, Wardlow is not a Pittsburgh guy.
No.
Okay.
He's from, like, Cleveland, Ohio area. So, like,
but
he just
this
comes
is
out
their
here.
area that a lot of them go to get exposure. I mean,
Right.
IWC has been either... We've seen stars that get built there, or we've also seen stars come to IWC that can still work to rehab their value. Heath Slater, perfect example.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be getting Rhino back very soon in our IWC Fed. I believe in July he starts again. June or July.
Can I buy tickets to the next
4 shows in advance because they're all going to be good.
July 13th would be the next one.
But yeah, just examining it, like, it kind of put All Elite in perspective for us and really tempered our enthusiasm. Not that All Elite's going to be bad, but just saying, is there really a roster here? Like, is this really what we're going to be excited about compared to what we have locally on a regular basis? Like,
Yeah, what's the difference, really? I mean, honestly,
it's a hard sell. Yeah. I mean, once you get past.
our local,
I'm not even really big on Cody Rhodes. So for me, once you get past Omega, Jericho, the Lucha Brothers, and the Bucks. And Hangman Page. So, but even still, like, that's
And that's what they have to
We're
overcome.
looking at a super indie tournament from a Pittsburgh independent wrestling promotion, essentially having a bigger roster or a better roster than what is now the second biggest wrestling organization in the United States. Sorry, Ring of Honor. Yes, you passed TNA. That's not saying much.
No.
Your Madison Square Garden show was a complete flop. Other than New Japan, they had to save you.
Right.
They had to save you with your ticket sales. You would have sold 5,000 tickets, and every Ring of Honor match on that show was absolute trash.
They would have sold out. It just
they would not have.
They totally would have sold out.
They would have had to give away 4,000 tickets at least.
First of all, you know how many people.
Where are you going to find 20,000 idiots that actually watch Ring of Honor? Let alone
how many people will go watch wrestling in MSG?
To watch Ring of Honor, I wouldn't.
To watch wrestling in MSG. Answer that question. How many people will go pay good money to go see wrestling in MSG? That was a thing. That was the thing I wanted to do.
Was that on pay-per-view? Or
Yeah.
was that on the fight thing?
No, well,
or was
it was on Fight, actually.
Because
it was also on New Japan World, though, I think.
I get lost. Are these still...
It was New Japan.
Are a lot of these companies still doing traditional pay-per-view, or are they all just moving over to the streaming thing? I think... I don't know.
That's also...
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, All Elite is the second biggest promotion in the United States now, and now, you know, we're looking at your roster, and we're like, okay, we have serious concerns here.
There's a lot they have to live up to.
There's a lot of unknown variables.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And the question is, like, are they still going to be... Is it still going to be enough to get past that bias to the point that we actually watch them?
I know. That's the thing. They're going to have to really impress people. They're going to have to bring a lot of surprises. I mean, a lot of astronomical money has already been spent on this.
And recently, you know, the last year or so, I've gotten rid of my cable box in my room. AEW is not going to make me get it back and watch TNT all of a sudden. I don't care that much. Like, it's not going to be worth it.
And I don't have cable anymore. Like, I'm not paying those prices. So.
Don't blame you.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't back at Cal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there are better options available online. Like, it's just not...
It's a different world now. I mean, it's almost...
And AEW is trying to move into it while still trying to do a lot of things that are very, very outdated already.
Mm-hmm.
Cable and pay-per-views. So...
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I think fans are definitely hungry for an alternative. WWE has been absolute... I haven't watched it in years because it's been bad. All of my favorites are either dead or retired or being misused, and I just have no interest in them. Like, yeah, Kofi Kingston is a bright spot right now. I'm happy he got a run with it. But, you know, if McMahon hadn't all of a sudden changed his mind and put him in that spot, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Like, it's all on a whim.
And that's where the All Elite can really blossom, saying we're the alternative, we're different, we got all the hot talent, we're stealing WWE producers, you know, we're taking over.
Also, a lot, I guess the thing that we need to keep in mind with All Elite is the roster now is not going to be the end-all, be-all. We're going to have to do a recap of all of the surprises that are going to end up being under contract, as well as watch the waiver wire. Because we've seen in professional wrestling, people leave other companies and then do huge things. The Undertaker leaving WCW to go to WWF to become The Undertaker. You know, he was Mark Calloway, or Mean Mark in WCW.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. He went from being in the Hollywood Blondes, being U.S. champion, leaving, becoming Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, we've seen it time and time and time and time and time and time again. I just wonder, are they going to be able to turn a Tyler Breeze, a Fandango, you know, if they would leave? But knowing the people that we have, Luke Harper, if he leaves, you know, can you build him up as like a newer Bruiser Brody? You know, can they turn Sean Spears, the former Ty Dillinger, into something more than Ty Dillinger? Which, I mean, that can't be hard to do. There's got to be something there. You know, I think he's talented. I think you can do something with him, but how much? That's the problem, you know. And even then, a lot of those guys, The Undertaker being the exception, their first gimmick in WWE, their first go-around,
I'm just distracting Peck right now with Undertaker holding a shit ton of Uno cards.
It's awesome.
But, yeah, you know, Steve Austin, he came in as, what, the ringmaster? And he was a protege of DiBiase, and it wasn't until his feud with Bret Hart that he really started coming out of that.
Yeah, he looked like Stunning. He didn't look like Stunning Steve, but he acted still like Stunning Steve when he came in. And
little bit. Well, then they also had him just freeze completely and not say anything and just kind of be silent, and that didn't work either.
Yeah, that was bad.
You know, that turned around. You have Jericho, when he left WCW, immediately debuting in a segment with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just wondered, the other thing with that is a lot of these guys don't have the opportunity of having been an established guy in another promotion. They're coming from what? NXT, which if you ask the casual fan before SmackDown, before he was on SmackDown, if they'd ever heard of Ty Dillinger, they'd be like, doesn't he play for the St. Louis Blues? Like, no one knows who he is.
No,
and that's the big problem with a lot of these independent guys. Or they have last names that sound like someone more famous. You know, Sonny Kiss sounds like Sonny Ono. He isn't. Or Sonny Bono. He's more famous too. Probably wrestles better.
Dead.
My point exactly. He still wrestles better.
This guy's dead.
Yeah.
Cross him off the list then.
But Dead Tom's always been dead. That's why he's called Dead Tom. And, you know, Sammy Guevara, if he's not Che's kid and that's not his gimmick, what is he? I know he got beat up by Walter once at a Progress show, but I don't even know what a Progress show is.
Right.
I thought that was a nutrition company. I didn't know it was a wrestling fed till a couple years ago, and I'm not going to ever watch it. Or Evolve. I thought it was an offshoot of Evolution. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't watch it. Those were our lowest rated podcasts when we talked about it. What did we get, 40 viewers for those?
Yeah.
Because we recapped Evolve and Progress, and people said the same thing we do. What the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, like Pro Wrestling Girl and that. No one listened to us.
Yeah. So, yeah, All Elite, we have doubts. If we want to just give our future prognosis for the company and what we hope happens more so than anything.
Sure.
For me, it's a little bittersweet, and I wish them all the happiness in the world, but for me, over the last 4 years, I've come to realize that I'm more of a Puroresu fan than an American professional wrestling fan. And the fact that Kenny Omega's defection hurt New Japan Pro Wrestling more than anything, I don't want them to fail, but I also, in a perfect world, would rather see him still in New Japan and growing that brand rather than this one that I don't really have all that much interest. And Jericho, one of my favorites too, but like you said, how many years does he have left?
Right.
Yeah, I'll tune in for that, but when he's gone, am I really going to keep, or even start watching it to begin with?
Maybe. I mean, you don't know who's coming up, coming in.
Yeah, but I didn't like Dean Ambrose when he was in WWE, so I don't really care all that much now either. So, I mean, for me, it's not going to change me. There's not going to be some profound, oh my god, I'm buying an AEW shirt. No, I'll be lucky if I watch it 3 times a year, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of wait and see kind of thing.
Well, you and I are both in recovery from all the TNA that we sat through over the years. Those were... you watched a lot more than I did, so...
We took one for the team and then some watching that product. And
from 2006 to 2009, that was...
And it's still going nowhere.
No.
And it's going to continue to go nowhere because nobody really cares anymore. But
although, in a lot of ways, this promotion's already outdone them. I mean, when did TNA ever draw 10,000 fans? Never.
Yeah, I mean, they could barely get people in... like for their Bound for Glory and they paper most of the arenas and stuff. I don't have all the numbers yet, but I'd be glad to get them. They just never did well. As for All Elite, I hope they do well. Am I really interested? Somewhat. Maybe some of the surprises on Saturday will impress us and it'll be worth going forward. But they have a lot to do, and I feel like a short amount of time.
And we've lost a lot of the interest that we've had in going. I haven't went to a WWE show since probably 2012.
I'm not going to another WWE show for the next 5 years at least.
I mean, the best one that I did go to was that year. It was the last one I went to. It was a live event, and because the matches were actually matches. They weren't TV segments.
Right.
It was Edge defending the World Heavyweight title against Kane. That may have been even longer than that. It was right before the Winter Classic against the Capitals. So,
I'd rather spend that money on local stuff.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I mean WWE holds no interest for me, but we've never really Chris went to a WCW show in what was that 97, 98?
98 and then 2000 I went to.
Yeah, and I never even got to do that. I went to a couple of WWE shows before that, but we've never had that other real big promotion that really hooked us in enough to go.
Yeah, it makes sense. What about your predictions, Brandon?
I think it's going to be fine. I think it really is going to be I think we're just looking at, I think we're making a mountain out of a molehill here. I think we're going to have a fun time prognosticating. And I think this is one, we're trying to line up the pieces and see how they're going to fall out on the chessboard. But really, I think it's, there have been some hiccups here, but I think, they're going to look at this in the rearview mirror and they're going to laugh. We're all going to laugh. not like
And we can't judge it just from the show either. We have to wait till they get on TV and have some months under their belt there and see what the viewership's like, because that's what's going to decide it.
Or not even. Yeah, well, that is going to definitely decide it. But like also, just be good. Just be watchable.
Mm-hmm. That's important.
Just be passable. Just get C's get degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Even Impact, as good as they've been lately in trying to rebuild, they still spend too much time on backstage segments.
Right.
And they're not learning from their mistakes. It's just evident. They forgot to come back from a commercial on there.
Well, they didn't do it. The network did.
Yeah, the network
still,
did.
it's a bad look. It's Bush League.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better, I don't think.
Right. So but also Indigate.
We hope it's more double than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Chris.
I'm Peck.
I'm Petrie. Hey, check this out. It's the first new episode on SoundCloud if you're listening to this any place else. Also, check out the Facebook group, NSR Pro Wrestling Podcast. I think we post a lot of funny stuff and not really a whole lot of breaking news, except that you see that AJ Styles crashed StarCast.
No, he did.
Check that out.
Whoa. Vince had to have okayed that.
You're going to have to check out that Facebook group and see that picture of him standing up giving that presentation.
Well, to be fair, Vince basically did kill the entire thing by pulling The Undertaker and everyone else that was associated with it because of and Ric Flair's health scare.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
By the way, Slick Rick, hope you're feeling better.
Yep, we wish you all the best.
Yeah, I'm going to show Peck the picture of Styles at StarCast.
That's a midget. Brandon. That's a midget.
That's Hornswoggle.
That's awesome.
Oh, jeez.
You could be having that kind of fun if you just check out our Facebook group.
You had me going for a second.
That's the point.
I thought you seriously altered the image.
I read the caption, AJ Styles crossed the stage at StarCast. So
it wasn't until I saw the proportions that I realized that wasn't him.
Well, the gut, too, kind of threw me off as well.
Yeah, but the t-shirt could have just been baggy. I didn't know.
Yeah. What a mane, though. Woof. Hey,